Engravings, hey? Engravings. Engravings are essentially ways of buffing a character in different ways. There's lots and lots of different engravings. Things from damage buffs, things like movement speed buffs, attack, like back attack buffs, crit buffs, rolling off the floor faster buffs, which no one uses. There's a bunch of engravings, like a few engravings that are really strong that everybody goes for. And then a lot of engravings that are trash and nobody touches. You can go to services there, bring up the game menu, right? And you got engravings. The first thing to understand about engravings is that there are they call them combat bonus here. These are generic engravings that any class can use, and then every single class has 2 engravings that are unique to that class, all right, that can completely change the playstyle of the class, right? You have the demonic, the shadow hunter, and it's got one mode which stops you going into demon form and boosts all your human skills, and then the other one is basically all about going into demon form as much as possible and doing all your damage in there. The Deadeye has engravings that lock out. It's called handgunner. It locks out your shotgun and your rifle, and obviously boosts all your pistol skills. Then you've got the normal engravings, which any class can use. Something like Spirit Absorption here, at level 3, that gives you attack speed and move speed plus 15% permanently. All the time. Obviously, engravings don't work in the arena PvP. This is all equalized, so engravings mean nothing in here. The system is you can learn engravings through books. So if I wanted to learn Stabilized Status Recipe, you've got the different color books. So you've got green version, and you'll have the same one but blue, and then the same one that's purple, and the same one that is orange, like this, right? And you've got that for all of them. And the harder difficulty stuff you do, the more chance you have, basically, of getting the higher tier books, right? The further up you go. You need 20 of the same book, or you need to learn them, and you right-click them, and you learn them. There we go. We are 1 out of 20, it says there. Once you have 20, you've learned like 3 nodes worth, basically, is what it is. 3 points worth of like the engraving stuff here. So like 1, 2, 3. And the books that you learn in the system that we've got, you add them to your rings only. So you see here down the bottom, it's got additional engraving effects, node +3. That's because I got 20 books, 20 green books, and I can put +3 onto this ring, and then I put +3 onto that ring, which is why drops of ether 6 on here. And then when you learn 20 blue books, which becomes harder to get and more expensive to buy from the auction house, then instead of having +3 and +3, you can have +6 and +6. So then all of a sudden you've like doubled this up, right? And then you learn the purple ones, and it becomes +9 +9. So then, just from having +9 +9, you can put it on both your rings, and then bam, then you've overkilled, right, the 15 points you need to have tier 3 drops of ether, for example, or like grudge, or your class engraving that you want there. So that's one way you do it. In Korea and in Russia right now, you no longer add them to your rings. You just have 2 separate slots down here that you just equip it to. You literally go to like your engraving book, and you just drag the ones that you've learned that I've just said to these separate slots. So it's the same thing. So instead of having to go to an NPC and add them to your ring, you just drag them into these slots here. And yeah, to get level 3, you need 15 points from something. So the other way that you get them is from stones. So this might look complicated at first, but this stone has the engraving increased max MP and spirit absorption. And then it's got a -1 of move speed reduction. So you can have negative in this. When you click on this, it will take up silver, and it will add a point with a success rate of 75%. It will add a point, or it will fail, and it will take up one of these nodes. So 75% is the highest success rate you can get with these. And if I click once here, there, we got it. We got +1. So now on this stone, before you can equip it, you have to finish this. You have to do them all before you can even equip it. All right. So we've got +1, and that one's gone down. So 65% chance is still pretty good. Spirit absorption from this is the only one I would use. I don't need max MP, but ideally you want a stone that's got 2 engravings on that you want, right? That's the whole idea. Look again. There we go. We got it again. And we go again. That's 3 in a row. That's pretty good. Now, when the success rate goes lower, you want it to fail here and you want it to succeed here. So 45% chance is more chance to fail. So I'm going to click here. It failed. So it you know, I haven't got 1 point of negative. So if I go there, 55% chance. Let's go back to this one. That one failed. It's gone up to a 65% chance. We got that one, 55. There we go. So now +5 would give me level 1 spirit absorption just by equipping this stone. But I want to get that higher. Now I'm going to go down there. See, we actually got 2 at low chance. 25% chance. Obviously, I'm not going to click there, right? Wow, Jesus Christ. Okay, 55% chance. No, it fails. 65 is a fail. 75 is a win. So we're still high. There you go. That's all we got. So that's how the stone did. So I did my best to try and get it, and we got a 664 stone, which is okay. It's okay. Ideally, you want to try, and it's really hard to get. And I actually got one. I got one really lucky. I got an 862 stone on Russia, which is really strong. And now the different stones you have, like this stone here, has up to +9 on things, but the lower level stones. I got one. I think I've got rid of it. So that has up to +9. The one I've got here, the higher level stones, can go. See, this has got crossing fist +8. They instead of maxing out at +9, you get more chances, so you can get more the higher level the stones are. All right, but now if I take this one off, the stone I just did, if I put that one on, that now, because it's +6 and +6, I now have increased MP at level 1 and spirit absorption at level 1. All right, and then movement speed reduction is +4. So there, and then you have your accessories, and your accessories are random. You need to line up. This is where it gets really tricky. The stone's not too bad, and it's a really good starting point for getting started with accessories. And then you have to line up loads of things on your accessories, which is like get out the spreadsheet time when it comes to this. All right, because not only do you need to have 2 of the right engravings on, and the correct, ideally the correct negative, because they're always going to have a negative. You can't get rid of it. This one, for example, lightning fury +1, master of ambush +1, and move speed reduction +3 is terrible because it has the 2 ones that you want only have +1, and it could be higher when it drops, and it has a negative which is +3. So it's a really bad piece of gear, right? But not only do you want it to have 2 of the right engravings, you also want it to have the right stats as well, right? So finding those alone randomly when you're doing chaos dungeons and your guardian raids is such a low chance to find the perfect piece of gear for you, that what most people end up doing is going, okay, I'm going to start buying things on the auction house. You have to go to this side because this side uses peons to buy things as well as gold. You can go onto the advanced search and go like, I want to have a stone that has another thing as well. Stones cannot have class engravings on. Stones can only have the generic engravings that everybody can have. Right? They don't have, like, shock training and ultimate jutsu, taijutsu is specific class engravings to my class, Scrapper. Can't have them. So if I wanted one that had like awakening, and I bet there's none here, awakening and cursed doll, it search, and if it had it, then it would come up, and they'll be there. So this is also another way how you make money, and will be part of my like how to get rich guide, is knowing what engravings are good, so you don't just go into your bag with a stone going I don't want this, I'm just going to get rid of that, right? And I'm just going to dismantle it, because you never know, the engravings on that could be absolutely amazing for another class, which means you can sell it on the auction house to try and make money. So most people will start off with a stone, see if you can get a good stone cut, and it can be very expensive to start doing this. And then you'll go to accessories. You can search by, for example, like legendary accessories. This one has increased max MP, spirit absorption, and domination. And what you need to do is find ones. See, that's a 122. So let's have a little search for grudge. This is where it starts to get really expensive because everybody wants grudge. Grudge contender, grudge spirit absorption. That could be a nice one. Master brawler, grudge lightning fury. So this is a nice one, plus it's got good quality. So there's so much RNG. The thing is, this one also has swiftness. So For a class that wants spirit absorption, grudge, and swiftness is a good stat for a lot of classes, this could be a really pog ring, right? 400 gold. Most people in beta only have like 400 or 500 gold, so that's like really expensive. But it's a nice ring, so you can like favorite it and put it in your interest list. Right, you can do that. Take it off. But you would do that, and basically when you put this ring on, right, you can guess it's going to give you 1 spirit absorb and 1 grudge to help out with this. Now, as you get higher level and you get higher level accessories, it won't be just +1. It'll be like +3. The ones I've got in Russia at the moment can give up to +5. They can give a +5 and a +3, maybe even a +5 and a +4 to positive engravings, which makes it a lot easier because you equip 1 piece of gear, bam, +5. They're really expensive with the right engravings, but if you had 3 accessories that have +5 grudge, which would cost you an absolute fortune because you'd normally want to have it with good a good second engraving, right? Then 3 accessories, 1, 2, 3, would give you that. Like, you would have grudge level 1. Then if you get a good ring, a good stone that has 8, you need another 7 to get 15. So if you had a +8 stone of spirit absorption, all right, and you would have spirit absorption up here at 560, you'd have 8. So you need to get another 7 here. You could do books and then put the books on your ring. So if you got 20 green books, 20 blue books, and 20 purple books, then you on 1 ring you could equip spirit absorption +9, and then between 1 ring and your stone you would then have spirit absorption maxed, and then with the 555 you'd have grudge maxed, and then all of a sudden this gets really strong because then you got 2 there. The trick is lining up the next engraving that you want, and then like the next one. In Russia I've got 4. They call it for free. I'd have 4 engravings at level 3, and that's like a 4-3. About the highest you can go at the moment, even like Korea, is 4-3 and a 2. When everything lines up amazingly, and you've sat down and basically spreadsheeted all this up, right? And because what you do is go through the auction house, like tagging everything that you want, like favoriting it all. Make sure it all lines out, because every time you buy a bit of gear, not only does it cost gold, but it also costs peons, and peons can be a little bit tricky to get. They're really cheap on this version, but in Russia it's like 25 peons for a piece of artifact gear, which is the one above. Relic gear, they call it here. So that gets really expensive. So, and you can also see here as well, maybe traded 2 times. So when I buy this, then it can only be traded 1 time if I put it back on the auction house. So you can buy and sell a little bit. So try not to buy things that you can't resell later on in case you get other gear, or if you find something else that's better. And then you, as I said, you just need to line up. Everything needs to line up in one go. You need the stone to line up with the engravings. You need these to line up with engravings and the 2 stats that you want for your class, being like crit and specialization. Then you need the negatives to line up so that you don't end up getting any if possible, so that they've all got different ones. So you can have like 3 in here, remember, won't give you anything. 4 like in another red one won't give you it, or 2 there, so they're spread out. And it gets very much like I've got to write a whole spreadsheet out about what engravings I need on what pieces that are going to give me free something, all like that, right, to be able to go through, plus the ones you learn from your books. And it's very complicated at first, but as soon as it all lines up, you're like, fuck yeah, because your character is so much stronger from engravings. So, and yeah, this side is engravings and stats, and this side doesn't have any engravings. All right, your left side doesn't have any. This is just like your armor and your eye level, and then this is obviously gives you like strength and vitality, plus the stats you have in engravings and things. But as I said, in here the books you can put as the additional engraving effects, but you only do it on your rings, and you have to come to the engraver right here. See, this only on rings. So this ring here that's in my bag, I've learned that one. Ideally I'd like to have like shock or something learned, right? I'd learn that from my books or something, so I can put this across onto this ring, because this ring has broken bone, shock training, defense reduction. That's it. And then as soon as you put this on, and this number here ×3 is only because I've learned green books. So if you learn blue books, that'll be +6. You have to learn them in order as well. You can't skip. You have to learn the green ones, then have to start learning the blue ones, and then the purple ones, so you can get to +9, and then the orange ones you can get to +12. So you know, then with the orange ones at +12, you can put it on a ring and have 12 points of an engraving on one ring, and then you have one piece of gear that has a +3, and that's it maxed. So yeah, you press that there, and it will see there's nothing on them. And you can change them as well, so you can chop and change them freely. It just costs money. There we go, engraved. And now this ring at the bottom has additional effect, drops of ether. So engravings in a nutshell, by Ben Lee.